Welcome back to the racetrack in my beautiful suit. The Racing for ALS guys have kept me so nice and so comfortable. And Rob from Faster Skunk Racing, thank you so much for hooking me up. Faster Skunk Racing here. I've been so comfortable and happy. I just walk around in this thing after I get out of the car instead of rushing to jump out of it because it's so nice and cool and thin. Anyway, here's the situation. I have most of my qualifying, or I just got out of the car for my last qualifying session. I'm done qualifying. It is now time to look forward to the race. I've had some problems finding speed that I really wanted to find. Struggling with it a bit. We've got the car to what I think is a pretty decent place. We just got to get the driver to that same decent place. I went out and found more speed again. I think I might have found a half a second again in this last session, which is great. I had a plan with some other drivers to get the draft. The draft here is worth 1.5 to 2 seconds, we think, and I'm not getting any of that. So that's a bummer, and that could help us out quite a lot, obviously. But we had a plan, and it kind of all got shot, and I went out there and was not far away. I could see them, didn't have the draft, and really wasn't making it happen. So that's a little bit disappointing. But I gained a few positions. I think I'm back up to 17th. I was 21st, so I'm back up to 17th, which is great. Got some positions. Ultimately, here's the thing. Ultimately, it's probably going to be raining like crazy, so none of this really matters. Get a good starting position, keep your nose clean. I've got fresh rain tires, and hope for the best. None of this, not a lot of the work we've done over the last couple of days is gonna help in the rain. But in any case, the car is in a way better place. I'm in a way better place. Rob, Faster Skunk Racing, thank you so much. Bought me some time with a data guy. We went over some data and I found some stuff to work on. I went out and worked on it and went faster. Incredible. Cannot thank Rob enough. Cannot thank Racing for ALS enough. For the suit, for the support. It's all down to this, y'all. I'm gonna bolt these reins on this car right now, and we're gonna go out and we're gonna do the best we can. Okay, it is race day. It is very nearly race hour. There has been a lot of activity around here this morning. Because it's wet, as you can see. We went through a straight up tropical storm last night. There was wind, there was rain, it was crazy, the van was rocking, it was a whole thing. Super wet this morning, and the first couple sessions to go out were also wet. But we have made the choice. The track is drying. It's not really supposed to rain. You know what? I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. The track is drying. The weather report looks pretty good. The way it is right now is there's a dry line on the track. The weather report's looking pretty good so far. So we're gonna go out on dries. That's the call. We're torqued. We got the right tires on the car. We're gonna go out there, and it's gonna be kind of nerve-wracking because there's one lane. There's a single lane that you can drive on. You step out, it's wet, you're on slicks, no grip, it gets real bad real fast. So it's gonna be kind of a hairy race, and it's gonna be exciting, but we're gonna go do it. I think let's just jump straight to race video. I can't, I'm kind of nervous. It's my first runoffs, but the car's ready, gassed up, cooler's ready, tire pressure set, wheels torqued. Let's go see what we can do. Okay, so the thumbs up here is because I thought I was gonna hook up and work with this red Sonic, but it ended up not working out. But buckle in, because this race is insane. Right through here, we're not taking off yet, but it sure feels like we are. And I biffed this start big time. Big time. I was just behind. So right here I had such a head of steam on this Sonic that I just did not want to let off of it, so I decided to drive by him. This flat black Honda Fit over here, I wanted to try and work with him. We've been working together all week. He's a great guy. My goal was to get to the rear bumper, and here we are. But watch this left side of the screen over here and pay attention to that red Sonic with the white stripe. It gets crazy. Everybody's bobbling and weaving and trying to figure out what they're gonna do. Well, watch this left side of the screen, right? Watch that mirror. Stewart gets in real close. Right there, you see that? Folds my mirror in. I couldn't reach it, that's me reaching it. We make contact right there, and I'm basically looking at my mirror, tilted in, so I'm basically looking at myself, and that contact that you saw, I could feel the spokes of our wheels running into each other. It was the craziest feeling. Set me back a little bit, but we're actually going to catch up here in just a second and watch this mirror. Watch this. Doink. It pops itself right back out, and we're cruising. I'm not looking at myself in the mirror anymore. It's time to roll. So if you watch, we're closing up, coming into Oak Tree here. I've not been getting out of Oak Tree very well all week. It's a weak point of mine, and so you can see them slowly kind of drive away a little bit. And in this form of racing, if you lose the draft, you're pretty much done for. And so I'm hoping, and I'm trying to will myself forward to stay in their draft. Luckily, by pulling side by side here, they make a pretty big hole, and I'm able to actually draw them in just a little bit here. Now, I've already made my decision that I want to go with Stewart. I want to push Stewart if I can. Here we get into a little bit of a bargy situation, which is weird. And right here, Stewart misses a shift. You can hear that, and I think in the confusion, he doesn't know that I came up beside him, and so we get pushed 2 wheels off, and I lose a little bit of track position, which track position is everything. But watch this bobble out of here. That was so sketchy feeling in the car. The tires are cold. The track was actually still a little bit wet, as you can see, and we lost just that much more track position. These are momentum cars. None of them make more than 115 horsepower or so. So track position is everything, and keeping your momentum is everything. As you can see, as I've just lost yet another position. Okay, so the Mini takes a little bit of a defensive line here. I'm on line. I'm going to have a head of steam. I'm planning to go up next to him, and he just came over. I didn't know it was going to happen. I felt so bad. I was just me waving, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. Felt bad about that one, because that was a big moment for him, I'm sure. I just thought that he was going to be further to the left by the time I got there. And here is another bobble, which kind of pulls me back in. Like I said, I have to stay in the draft. It's crucial to stay there. And so these little bobbles are able to keep me close to him so that we can work together to try to push forward. If you're working alone, you're just not going to get anywhere. So right now I'm motioning to him like, let's go. I'm not going to fight you. Let's work together. Let's push forward. And so that's me going, hey, let's work together. And that's him going, okay, cool, let's go. And it's all hand motions. It's crazy how much you can get across with someone you've never met before with a single hand in a race car. It's pretty cool. It's also cool to be able to run this close with someone and be able to work together like that. So up there, this is important. Stewart got past this Fiesta here. And right here, watch the Fiesta. Watch him closely. Right there. That move to the right spooks this Mini, and we lose all this track position. I mean, it was, I thought I might die inside, because my thought is, no, you go, you never lift. You have to get up there. And so we've lost an easy car length, 2 car lengths. And you can see how much time we're making on this guy. Again, the Mini lifts a little bit because this is kind of a weird place. I don't blame him. But we got to get past this Ford. We absolutely have got to get by him. Even through here, you can see him kind of holding everything up. What's also just kind of a little funny note is every once in a while you'll watch that Mini driver reach up and I don't react. That's because his mirror keeps falling down and he keeps trying to fix his mirror. It's so funny to be racing like this and see that happening. But right here, the Mini makes a beautiful move, outbrakes the Ford, gets past him, try to go with him, and I kind of get, well, the door gets closed and it's no longer an option for me. So I have to figure my own way past this guy now. Not to mention the fact that I'm now working alone. So here the Ford is all out of shape, and this is my chance. I pull alongside, He darts that over, and I don't lift, stay my course, keep my line, and I get the pass. So now not only am I past the Ford that has held us up for a lap or two, but I now think that, well, I'm losing ground on the Mini a little bit, but I know the Ford is behind me. If I can get him to push me, then we can work together, get up front. Like, I'm kind of stuck in no man's land, and I'm a little afraid that I'm going to get left behind, but we're going to work hard and see what happens. So here we're able to reel this Mini back in, little bits at a time, but what's important is to get to the rear bumper, which we do, and now we can work together. Like I said, I'm not great out of Oak Tree for whatever reason. Mini gets a little bit, and this is me right here, this is me going, come back to me, like pull back. It can actually benefit the front car to lift a little bit, to let the second car catch up, so that you can hook up sooner and go. It doesn't end up working out like that, but I tried. Now my car appears to be good on these long runs, so I'm eventually able to make up this gap and pull up to this Mini. So here I thought about trying to pass to the inside, but it's a real short passing zone. It's pretty sketch right in this section. So I decided against it, and remember, I'm still trying to stay away from this Ford, so it's going to benefit me to stay hooked up with this Mini. Of course, I forget to shift right there. I know, it's annoying. Just straight up forgot to shift, hit limiter, and well, now I have to defend from this Ford. He's coming. He's going quick, and so I have to defend. He continues to move over, and so I continue to move over to keep this position, whatever I have to do. I'm not even worried about the draft at this point. So this line pushes me wide. My hands so that the car will actually grip and go forward, and I'm able to hold him off. But now, watch this Mini. He turns in, well, he's way offline, and so I'm planning my pass. And look up track right there. Yeah, that was sketchy. I was not prepared for the Mini to stop like that. I thought we might sort of breeze past the car, but you know what, it is what it is. I have a little Zen moment, right? I know, calm yourself. And after a couple laps of cleaning up, the driver was just fine, crawled out. We're going back to green, where once again, I bit the start. So we're not green yet, but we're going like we are. But we're not green until right about here, I think. And once again, I got so caught up, I forgot to shift. The Ford we worked so hard to get by is going by us again, as well as this new Chevy Sonic. I'm able to move over and just kind of fill the space and just kind of wait to see what happens. Now, the Ford kind of does their little darting thing a little bit, and well, this is where I make a decision. This is the decision we're going to make. Probably not the smartest, but thanks to Fess over here in this Mini, and heads up driving is great. He knew I was there, and we didn't collide at any point. But we do still have this Ford to contend with, and I'm just trying to hold off this Sonic for the time being. He put up a great fight, but I was able to pull away. And right here, I thought about going up the inside of this Ford again, but he's got such power that I got here and kind of went, well, I can't really pull any further. So it's at this point that I pretty much just say I have to work with this guy for a little while to stay with the pack. That's the goal now, is to stay with the pack. Thought about passing here, didn't really work out, don't like that plan, so we bail on it and just try to stay close once again. So here's where you can see the draft really works, how powerful it is. You see this endless line of cars here. We're all right there together. I'm staying on the Ford. I'm pulling up to him, and I'm deciding that I'm just going to push him. I'm going to push him. He's going to pull me with all this power he's got, and we're going to see what happens. And right here is where it starts to work. You see this? You see how far away these two cars are? But look at how quickly we're coming up to them. And together we gain this position honestly with ease. It really wasn't hard. The draft is so powerful in this class. So right here I see my moment. I have a good run. I'm able to get alongside him well before turn in. So we take the position and it's ours now. And we're still focused forward on this flat black fit up here. We're trying to get to Dan Dennehy. We're trying to get to Dan. This Mazda between us was involved in a little bit of a weird thing over 10, if you noticed. He's a front runner. And now he's back here with us. And this is me saying, work with me, push me, let's go. Which worked out okay, except for he doesn't push until right there. I'm stepping on the brakes, and that's when this guy decides to bump draft. Insanity. So sketchy. But we're watching this battle unfold in front of us. The 3 or 4 cars here, we're going to need them to keep battling because that's what's going to give us our track position back again. And so right here, I'm able to pull right up to them once again. This Mazda trying to find a way past this fit, and that allows us to catch up. And it's so funny because right here the Mazda pulls out to pass, loses all of his head of steam, and I thought we were going to box him out. I thought, but no, he gets right back in line smartly. There's a good move, but I thought we were going to be able to box him out, and I was going to gain another position. But again, you gotta find that balance in this class between working together and gaining track position. So once again, I find myself with a little gap, just hoping that I could stay enough in the draft to stay close. I could actually hear the wind buffeting off the top of the windshield. It's crazy how in tune you get with the wind when you're racing in this class because the draft is so crucial. So this Mazda 2 uses their lightweight to great advantage here, pulls a classic over-under, and well, gets the pass, is able to pull it out in the end here, which puts Dan and I bumper to bumper. I've been working with him all week, we've been chatting, we know what the plan is. My goal now is to just stay hooked up with Dan and push him as far as I can. Few things are as exciting in the race car than driving through the next guy's windshield. I can't see anything here, but I can see out of his windshield. And I can see this happening too. I lied. That's about as exciting as it gets. Dan goes for this incredible ride. Unbelievable. I cannot believe he kept it straight. I was trying to decide which direction he was going to go so that I could not, get collected as it was happening. And by the time I made my decision, he had the thing back in line and was able to legitimately keep his position. Incredible save there by Dan. Incredible. This is us being hyped up. Like, let's go, baby. We're hooked up. Let's make it happen. The adrenaline is running high after that. It's a very exciting race. Very exciting race. So my radio antics have been a little lacking during this race. I was focused super hard on the task, just trying to keep my head down and put in some laps because I was just disappointed with how my qualifying went. That was me saying, we're hooked up with Dan, it's time to roll out now. And I tell you what, even just watching the video gets me so fired up again. When you're coming up that hill, you have to be either so close that you can look through the other guy's windshield to see where you're going, or you have to be so far away that you can see around their car. Because anything in between, you can't see the track, you can't see curves, you can't see anything at all. And it's kind of sketchy because you don't really know where your turn-ins are anymore. You just have to go off of muscle memory and or trust the guy in front of you. And so, man, running up that hill glued to his rear bumper, most exciting thing I've ever done. On one of these laps here, we were hooked up on the back straightaway for so long that in fourth gear I hit rev limiter as we were coming into the braking zone because we were going so fast when we hooked up. I mean, we're talking probably 2 to 4 miles per hour speed, more speed from the draft like that. It's so crazy. I know I keep saying it, but it's so crazy. So for the remainder of the race, Dan and I pretty much just did this the whole time. We stayed hooked up. We put in some really strong laps, but we really weren't able to make a lot of progress on these guys up front. They were just too fast for us. But man, we had a great time, and I think we both learned a lot. So in any case, let's just skip to the end and get to that checkered flag. So as we're approaching the checkered flag here, if you watch the back window, Dan starts pointing and he lifts big time. I wasn't sure what he was going for exactly, but I knew that I did not deserve the position, so I wasn't going to pass him. What we ended up doing is having this really nice photo op moment where we both passed the line at the same time. And there it is, buddy. You finished your very first runoffs. So incredibly exciting. A little alongside Dan, man. What a great time we had together. And it's a great time. Adrenaline's running high. And the coolest thing ever, if you look way up there on that fence, you see a couple of lime green there. It's a huge pile of people, and they're all screaming and cheering and waving their arms for me. And that's the whole track family. What an incredible finish. It made me so happy seeing that.
Woo! That was the most insane race I've ever been in. I haven't seen the footage. With everything I have, I hope the video worked. That is the most insane race I have ever been in my entire life. The car did so freaking well. Look at this. If you notice, that red car with the white stripe on it folded my mirror in and did a whole bunch of extra damage right here. That race was absolutely crazy.
And right there is where my camera died on sight. I was so excited. I hadn't charged the camera. I'd actually left it on from the previous session. It was a whole thing. I was still riding high off of that. It was incredible. I went from 21st to 14th place, which got me the Hard Charger Award, which means that I moved up more positions from the start than anyone else in the entire field. It was incredible. It was so much fun. And I am so glad that I qualified, was actually able to go. And right now I am fully planning to go again next year because that was too much fun. I've got to be the happiest racer to ever finish barely in the top half of the field in the history of racing. It was so much fun. It was so incredible. I learned so much. My game was permanently upped from that race forward. incredible time. Cannot wait to do it again. I am here editing this video right now, actually. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to the guys at Racing for ALS for their support. Thank you so much, Rob, at Fastest Going Racing, for your support. We made some developments in this off season. There's a lot of work to be done. Come back and watch that, because I have every intention of going to the 2023 runoffs at VIR with a much better car than I left the 2022 runoffs at VIR. Stay tuned. It's only going to get better from here. I cannot wait to show you guys what we've got planned together. It's going to be great. Thanks for watching. Follow me on Instagram at The.Daily.Racer for in-between video happenings and things that are going on. I'm staying way more up to date there than I do on YouTube. There's a lot of events coming, a lot of racing coming, and a lot of work coming. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys in the next one.